Hello. I originally made this video for a friend because they asked me how I do my candle runs, but then I decided I might as well share. So this may not be the most efficient way, but it is the way that I do it, and it is under an hour for at least 15 candles normally. Now, if it's not in the middle of a season, that means you can of course get 4 extra candles because of the quests. So I recommend you do that first because it usually doesn't take very long and it's 4 free candles. And then actually go and do the rest. Now, a little warning beforehand, a lot of my footage is sped up, but I did want to include it so you can actually see how I go about it. So if you cannot handle very sped up footage, because of course it goes around quite a lot, please just only listen to the audio instead of also looking at the visuals. With that warning out of the way, let's get into it. Now today the quest happened to be in Daylight Prairie, which I usually already run in my candle run, so I will be keeping those for later instead of doing them first. Now I prefer to start at the Village of Dreams because there's 2 candle cakes there as well as the music quest, so it already gives you a lot of wax in the beginning while you only need 95 wax to actually have a candle. So let's go ahead and do that first. After that I usually also go to Colosseum directly from here so I can get all the candles at the very end there, because that's quite a lot of wax and it's just easy and fast to get. Now, of course, don't forget to grab all the candles at home, which are a total of 23 wax pieces, and then let's head into the boosted realm that day, which are indicated by the little candles next to the portal. Now, I usually run the full boosted realm, so I will have to say that I got quite lucky here with it being forest, because forest, of course, already has a lot of dark plants, so there's quite a lot of wax in the forest. Now, I do usually run only the main areas, so I actually skipped Treehouse here, as well as Sunny Forest. We also won't be visiting Grandma because I chose to actually not include Geyser and Grandma in this, because not everyone has the chance to go visit them while they have a little window of time to candle run. Our main objective here will be to get all the candle cakes, and I personally just like doing the full realm anyway because you have to pass through all the areas anyway. Now, as a chibi in forest, it can be quite annoying to have to burn the plants underwater because it doesn't always let you. So I did the bridge first and then went back to see if all the plants were already burned, which they were, so I got quite lucky with that. Now, I did happen to actually complete one of the quests already, so that's good for me, but usually, of course, you'd already have done that, so it doesn't really matter. And I also chose to help with the plants at the very end, even though I usually decide to actually go through the door and then go back later to see if it's already burned, because usually I play alone, so it's kind of difficult to burn it all by myself. Next up, we will be heading into Daylight Prairie. Like I said before, today's quests are actually in Daylight Prairie, so I will take a few detours here and there to actually get those done. But usually I would go about it relatively the same way. Usually I choose to do either this little cave part or bird's nests, just either one of them, because I don't really feel like doing them both because they take quite a lot of time for quite a little amount of wax. But since the quest made me go this way anyway, I decided to do the little cave part. Now, of course, after this we get into the main area that I call it. I don't know if it actually has a name. And I think everyone does this, but maybe I'm just an antisocial asshole. But what I usually do is I activate all the towers and then I go around again to actually collect all the wax, because at that point, due to the server merge, usually all the plants on top of the tower have already been burned, so it's easier without having to actually burn all of them. After that, we go to what is everyone's frustration, being the 8-player door, so we can actually get all the wax from up in the Oreo space. You grab all that and then we go up to the temple. There's not much to say about the temple, so just go ahead and grab all the wax from below as well as above and then head back out the door so we can make our way to Bird's Nest. Now, like I said before, I usually only do either the cave part or Bird's Nest, but due to the quest today being to catch the green light, I had to wait anyway, so I decided I might as well get all the candles from there. And then you just see me chilling out because we have to wait for the light to drop. Now finally the light actually got there, so we can go ahead and head towards the Sanctuary Islands. Now I have a very specific way in which I run the Sanctuary Islands because I just feel like it's the most efficient one. I'm not sure, it might be a different one, but this is just how I do it. Once again, you can actually see me avoid the dark plants first because I always hope that they will already be burnt at the time that I get there. Once again, making use of the server merge mechanics. Now after this we will actually be making use of the wind paths, so if you haven't actually gotten around to using those, this will be the time, because I actually use them in basically every candle run. So we will be flying up here to take the wind paths, and we first will be visiting Hermit Valley because we didn't get the candle cake over there when we actually went into the Village of Dreams, and we will also be going to the Cave of Prophecy. Now at this point we will already have around 13 candles, so now the objective is to simply get to those 15. So I headed into the Aviary Village to get my 23 pieces of wax there, and then we will be heading into the vault. Now I actually really like to run vault because I feel like, especially using shortcuts, you can get quite a lot of wax quite quickly. The only downsides are when you have to wait for the platform to actually get up, as well as the multiple player doors. But I have my chibi mask, so I can quite easily get past those if needed. Also, my game was being quite buggy here, so that took me a little longer than it usually would have. Now here you can see we actually got to 15 candles, but I decided to at least finish this level of vault before heading home. Now it's time to actually cash in those sweet candles back home. So here we go, we can actually collect all the ones from the quest, as well as the ones from the wax. I would actually recommend to keep all your candles stacked like this until the end, because it feels like it's a lot more worth it to see all of them fly at you at once, instead of just seeing one every once in a while. Now overall we got 20 candles, 4 of which were from the quest and 16 from the candle run, all in just about an hour of time. Now we did get a little bit lucky with the quest being in Daylight Prairie and the boosted candle realm being forest, but overall it will be relatively the same. So good luck on your candle run, and I hope to see you another time. Bye bye!